remind me later, Eileen, to explain it to you. I think he was. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dawn Patrol. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. Eileen Delrossi, my co-host, is phoning it in right now. We have John Curtis here from Methuen. And, of course, we have our producer, John McDonough.
Greg Pappas is coming us up.
And today's Friday, the 15th of November. I think our weather is good. A little chilly, sunny, high of 55. But it was apparently below freezing overnight. So there's a big conflab down in Peru. President Biden's down there. Xi showed up in Peru the other day to open a big Chinese port that should do about $4 billion worth of trade every year. We again have neglected our southern neighbors. But back in 1532, the Spanish conquest, the Inca Empire, commanded by Francisco Pizarro, started under Hernando de Soto, meeting the Incan emperor. And a year later, Pizarro arrives in Cusco, the capital of the Inca Empire, and approves the Articles of Confederation. They skip ahead to 1806. Lieutenant Zebulon Pike spots a mountain peak while near the Colorado foothills. Is later named Pikes Peak. 1884, the Battle of the Berlin Conference of 1884-85. I think Frew would have comments on this. It met in 15 November of 1884 and then adjourned and then finally concluded in 1885 with the signature of a general act regulating European colonization and trade in Africa. So that was not good. 1938, Nazi Germany bans Jewish children from public schools in the aftermath of Kristallnacht. In 1942, the Battle of Guadalcanal ends. Fortunately, we won. In 1943, German SS leader Heinrich Himmler orders that gypsies, or Rami, are to be put in the same level as Jews and placed in concentration camps. 6 million people died in the Holocaust, 6 million Jews. They got 12 million overall. In 1988, an independent state of Palestine was proclaimed by the Palestinian National Council. In 2005, Al Jazeera English launched worldwide.
John's favorite radio station, isn't it?
Hmm?
That's John's favorite listen, isn't it? In the morning,
Yeah.
He likes to listen to Al Jazeera English.
Yeah. And in 2012, Xi Jinping became the General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, and a new 7-man Politburo was inaugurated. In 1891, Erwin Rommel, German Field Marshal, was born, died in 1944. 1905, Curtis LeMay, American general and politician, was born, died in 1990. 1907, Klaus von Stauffenberg, German colonel, was born. He died in 1944. He died of the same problem as Erwin Rommel.
What was that?
The 20 July coup against Adolf Hitler. Von Stauffenberg is the one that placed the briefcase with the bomb
In it?
under the table, and unfortunately, someone moved it, and it didn't do its job.
No.
1932, Petula Clark was born
Downtown.
downtown.
Downtown, her big hit in the U.S., number
Yeah.
one.
And in 165 BC,
Whoa.
Mattathias, a Jewish resistance leader, the guy that kicked off the Maccabean rebellion, died. And today is American Recycles Day. Eileen?
She
Hello,
stepped away.
Eileen?
Yeah.
I'm here.
There you are.
Is this another dig at my recycling issue last week?
Yes.
Oh, I figured. Remind me never to post anything on Facebook ever again. Please.
I will.
Okay. Go ahead.
So,
What do you got?
I bring this vote on the Social Security Fairness Act, which would repeal Social Security windfall elimination provision and government pension offset. The unpaid for bill would add $196 billion to deficits over the next decade and hasten Social Security insolvency by roughly 6 months. Are you on Social Security yet, John?
Not yet. I can start collecting in 2 years. I don't know if I'm going to wait till later or start collecting in 2 years, but we'll see. So
I put it off a little while to get a little more money.
hopefully, yeah, that's probably a good idea. But yeah, so hopefully I'm in the right age range where it'll still be around for me. Sorry, Eileen.
No, no. You know, as teachers, we don't pay into Social Security. But I worked so many jobs that I think I have enough credits to like get something when I'm old enough. But yeah, because we pay into Mass Teachers Retirement.
I think you brought up a good point. My wife had worked off and on when I was in the service as a church organist. And every year that she worked, I was very careful to make sure I paid Social Security tax for her, even if she wasn't making a whole lot of money. And as a result, she had enough credits, and so she's able to draw on Social Security. It's just 9 years away from insolvency. So, what's that? 15 years shy of you being able to take it, it'll be insolvent, Eileen?
I don't know. How old am I and how old are you when you're able to collect it?
Well, I made the rough assumption that you're 40 and that you would draw when you were 65 and not 63.
Yeah, never make a rough assumption on a woman's age. That's dangerous.
No, yeah. But luckily, he gave me 4 years.
All right, good.
44.
All right. All right. At least he was low.
Good job, Cliff.
Yeah.
44, and so you could do 63 or 65. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
62 is when you can start
Oh, is
collecting.
it 62?
62, yeah.
They used to be only women, and then they decided that that was unequal, and they extended it to men. Okay, so we're borrowing $2 trillion a year, and retirees are slated for a 21% benefit cut, or about $16,500 a year. So there we are. So every day we get closer and closer to Social Security insolvency, and no one's come up with a solution. So, Eileen, how is Anthony's new school?
He's loving it. I'm going to send John some Facebook pictures at some point. And so I put them in my camera. So, but wait till I get there.
Okay. But I was,
You can blow up my spot right now, Cliff.
Well, I was wondering if you thought teachers were showing insights into Anthony's learning issues.
Yes, and you know what? I still have yet to figure out the philosophy of the school. I'm just so grateful for it. But one of the things, and I don't know why, is that they call everybody, like even teachers, the principal. It's not Miss. It's just their first names. It's Amy. It's Starry, his reading comprehension teacher. It's Sarah. It's like they call Dan, the gym teacher. They call everybody by their first names, and I think for Anthony that does something. Honestly, that when we had first went for the visit, he was like, interesting.
And how old's Anthony?
He's 11 now.
Now, is there a reason for that? I mean, I think most people might look at that and say, gee, that...
Disrespect.
Yeah, you want to call Mr. or Mrs.
I still
or...
call everybody Miss.
Sure.
He's like, Ma, it's not Miss. It's just... And even when I went for a visit, they were like, not Miss. Like, what?
Yeah, I think it's a generational thing in a way. I mean, I know I had to be talked off calling, John McDonough. I was calling him Mr. McDonough the first couple of times I met him, and he's like, no, it's John. And I mean, I'm not too far removed from his age, but I mean, if that's the way the school runs it and they think it's somehow beneficial.
Something about that also intrigued Anthony.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't even know. And every weekend I'm like, I need to look into this, and I need to, but sometimes too much information can kill you, right? So,
right. Now, is he intrigued in a good way, though? Does he is the casualness of it have a good effect on his, emotional well-being?
You know what? That's just one little piece,
right?
It's more of the fact that they're meeting him where he's at.
Right.
And that, he was complaining to somebody that the homework's too hard for him, or he doesn't like the homework. And I was like, he does not complain about his homework at all. When he's on the bus, he does his homework. So I'm not even going to entertain that thought, because he's still an 11-year-old boy. So
Yeah.
he's probably trying to play whatever game he can, right?
Right.
So, like, he likes his routine. He loves his bus driver. He goes to school. He loves his friends. And, he was like, Mom, around Halloween time, he says, Mom, my friend's parents just bought a $4 million mansion, and they spent like $1,500 on Halloween decorations, and he was like, he invited me over. He's like, I don't know if I want to go. I'm like, Anthony. I'm like, I was like, if you don't want to go, I'm going to bring you as like the alien, right? Holding the baby or whatever it is, those costumes. But he ended up not feeling good, whatever, and wasn't able to go. But like, it's just a whole different world, too. Like, it's very different from Lowell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm probably pulling on my military experience, but esprit de corps, the sense that we're all in this together, probably aids in the learning, right?
Say that again, Cliff.
The esprit de corps of the school, the sense that we're all in this together and we're all buddies, helps in the learning?
Yeah, that could be a good point. Yeah, I mean, and that's what right? And maybe the miss has always made, you know what I mean? I really don't know what it is, but yeah, maybe it is that we're all in this together. Teachers, too, are all still trying to figure this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is sometimes priceless to a student. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I mean...
Which is why I think Lowell High School may be too big.
Say that again. Why
I-
you think Lowell High School what?
It may be too big, that
Yeah.
sort of breaks down learning a
Makes
little
it too
bit.
separate.
I would have been happy if they'd gone to 2 high schools.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony's biggest class has 9 kids in it. And you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and he was saying that the other day, and like for Anthony, that's huge. You know what I mean? It's that individualized attention, and also he gets goal sheets every day, and for each class they comment of how he did, and it's great, 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 great. Added a lot to class, like good, good, good. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a smaller school, but it's like individualized to understanding the needs. And for him, that's everything. Like, we had, a 3-day weekend for Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day, Clint.
Thanks.
And even the night before, he's like, I'm just so excited to go back to school tomorrow to see his friends. You know, and like, I've never seen him so enthralled with going to school, even though it's a commute, you know. He's good with it. It's all kind of jived for him.
Yeah. So, changing subjects radically, is there anything new on the Karen Reed front?
Oh, yeah, last week they went to the SJC appeals. All right, and then this week they went for a motion hearing where they wanted her father's cell phone records. And Hank Brennan, Whitey Bulger's attorney, forgot. And, honestly, I can kind of understand that, because even though it was 2017 when he defended Whitey, Whitey didn't have, there probably wasn't, cell phones. But I guess he didn't serve Verizon and Bill Reed and all the appropriate parties, because this case is so technical. So he was not prepared in lots of ways. So they had to hold off, and then they motioned to give a few more months to the trial, but the judge wants to keep it going as quick as possible.
I don't blame him.
You don't blame who?
The judge.
No, it's corrupt, Cliff. Cliff, the FBI is even involved. The FBI has declared that she's not even a suspect already. And they're just watching the state go along with this.
So what about the parallel issue, the supposed suicide that looks like it was murder?
Yeah, there was also, I didn't follow it, but there was also a hearing for one of the Farwell brothers this week. I don't know if it was I think it was Matthew Devine, or it's Matthew Farwell, his brother. There was a hearing. I'll look it up on my way there. I'm heading out now. So I head there.
Okay.
Try not to talk to me because I'm not good at multitasking.
All right.
Okay.
So, John, do you hear anybody talking about the hostages, the American hostages in Gaza? Does anybody care about that?
I haven't heard anything about it lately. I think, a couple of them have died while in
Yeah,
captivity.
there were 7 originally, 3 died, so there's 4 of them.
Yeah, I don't know what the U.S. government is doing, if they're just depending on the Israeli army to, at some point, be able to get in there and free them like they freed, others. Obviously, a few of them have ended in deaths, unfortunately. But I don't know, I'd like somebody to start up a negotiation process, but how do you negotiate with terrorists? I mean, it's...
Yeah,
It's a conundrum. I mean, do you give them what they want and then they keep taking more hostages, or so? It's a delicate situation.
Questions for John. Cliff, can you read that?
good morning. What does Mr. Curtis think about the,
Patriots quarterback.
back? He looks like he has some talent. Hopefully, they'll build around this kid.
Yeah, you know, the correct answer would probably be ask me in about 2 or 3 years, but, yeah, it's certainly given some hope back to the Patriots fans. We were spoiled for 20 years around here with the
Yeah.
6 Super Bowls, and Tom Brady is probably the greatest quarterback of all time. But, yeah, this kid has some potential, but you still don't know because a lot of it has to do with the talent around him. We'll see what happens in free agency and the draft next year, but they certainly need a better offensive line to protect him. I mean, if he's on his back half the time, it doesn't matter how talented he is. I mean, Peyton Manning's father, Archie Manning, who was drafted by the New Orleans Saints in the early 70s, was a great college quarterback, and he came out and he was drafted by a terrible team. And he showed flashes, but he could just never reach the talent level that his sons did. So yeah, we'll see. They'll probably be picking high again in next year's draft, and hopefully they can build around him. Maybe get a top flight wide receiver through free agency of the draft. And yeah, there's hope again in New England. So we'll see if they can string another win together and get back-to-back wins when they play this week against the Rams at home. So, yeah, keep your fingers crossed. That is the most important position in the NFL, quarterback, probably in all of sports. So, yeah, that's good to get a sports
Yeah.
question.
McD, Stackpole Street, just got resurfaced.
I understand.
Did you notice that when they resurfaced it, they weren't able to level up the manhole covers?
No, but there's a short street in downtown Lowell, I can't think of the name of it. At the corner, Enterprise is on the corner and Subway's on the other corner, and it goes down to LTC.
Yes, I know the street.
We just spent $1 bazillion to make it cobblestones again. And the installers made it like it was 100 years old. It's not straight across. There's dips in it. You go up and down the road. So it looks like we hired our friends to reinstall the cobblestones and make it feel like it's a cobblestone road that was put in by the Romans. City is doing a terrible job with resurfacing the roads. So when Eric Gitche comes, I'm going to discuss this with him.
Okay.
Won't be the only street that they screwed up. If those manhole covers are above the hot top, the plow drivers will be very angry.
I think they're below the hot top. It feels like the car dips when it goes over one of them.
Oh, that's no problem. It's Lowell, man. We hire our friends to do stuff. Come on now. What do you know about plumbing, Cliff?
About plumbing?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got Dave Murphy's phone number in my
No,
phone.
personally, what do you know about plumbing?
Very little.
Okay, so we're going to put you in charge of plumbing at the new high school. Okay, we're going to pay you $150,000 a year.
I better get out those YouTube videos.
So you're going to be in charge of, and that's what the city does. They hire some incompetent people, and that's how Lowell rolls. There's no changing it.
That's how a lot of cities roll, I think. I think unfortunately in politics, it's all about taking care of your friends once you get in office. And
Yep,
I don't think it's,
that's Lowell's motto. That's
Yeah.
what we do.
Well, it's unfortunate.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
So, do you see where President-elect Trump, egged on by Elon Musk, is going to create the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah. So,
That'll be interesting to see how that works. Because you can't push around, speed up government. They don't speed up.
yeah, it doesn't seem like the words efficiency and government go together.
But more interestingly, I watched a little bit, I watched half the video. It's on YouTube. So for YouTubers, if you go out there and you go for YouTube hearings, there was a YouTube hearing yesterday. No, I'm sorry, UFO hearing yesterday. So when you search, just go UFO hearing, and it should come up. It's maybe 1 or 2 days old, and they got these 4 guys who just outright said the government's lying to everybody. They're not telling the truth about these flying phenomenon, or whatever you want to call it. Now, Cliff, you're a career pilot. I've asked you this before, but it begs the question today. I know the answer. Have you ever seen a UFO?
No.
Well, they have them on video. They have them coming out of the ocean. Cool place to hide, the ocean, huh? So that's the big doings that happen. So I'm going to make time to watch that over the weekend. It's about an hour long, the whole thing is. So I'm going to make time to watch the whole thing. But these 4 guys, they just said, we ain't telling you the truth. And I
But
didn't
do
know
they know what the truth is?
that. I haven't watched that far, Cliff. I just watched a little bit of it, and I will make time to watch the rest of it. I'll know more the next time we speak.
There's, in the Lowell Sun this morning, there's a article on new Pentagon report on UFOs includes hundreds of new incidents, but no evidence of aliens. So I'll leave this article for you.
So they haven't seen them jump out of the craft yet. But they've seen the craft.
Yeah.
Okay. They think nobody's inside, right? No, there's nobody in that. Gotcha.
So, well, what can I say?
Well, I'm glad you're ahead of the curve, Nick, with that, Cliff. Thank you. I'll look at that later.
All right. So we've gone through this efficiency thing before. Oops, here we go.
Home run BRD.
Right.
Every manhole cover is a disaster. Who is responsible to make sure the work's done correctly? Oh, I know. This guy. He's supposed to make sure it's done right. Him.
And in this day and age of political correctness, shouldn't that be a person hole cover as opposed to a manhole cover?
No, we don't make girls go down the sewer.
No, we don't. No, you don't want to offend people with a political. Not that I'm for it. I was being facetious.
But that leads us to, did you see that Seth Moulton, the rep from the next district over? Mm-hmm. I mean, he really got raked over the coals on not being sufficiently woke about transgender athletes.
Yeah, you want to know? You want to know one of the big reasons why Trump was reelected? The wokeness of the left. You know, people like to say that I was liberal or woke because I didn't like Trump, but like I said, I didn't vote for Kamala either. I've always said both sides have been hijacked by the extremists, and the same's true for the left. I mean, he's absolutely right. I mean, in my opinion, any person that is born a male in this country that transitions to a female should never be allowed to play in women's sports at any level. I mean, I think that's just common sense. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. So good for him. Is that basically what he said and that they're angry about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 100% right.
I mean, there were letters to the editor.
I believe it's called Title IX, right? Is that what he's going to retract Title IX?
Yeah. I wonder why we don't go with a third league, boys, girls, and transgenders, and let the transgenders play amongst themselves? Or aren't there enough of them?
Yeah, that's a
There's about
possibility.
300,000 of them. Is what I'm,
Well,
that's the number I
it
heard.
would require so much work, and nobody wants to put the work into it.
So this text talks about, now the show, we can watch the show on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, there's a link that you just hit that, it brings you right to YouTube. And this guy's commenting, watching your show live on YouTube is fantastic. So I'm glad he likes it. Thank you for letting us know.
So, did you guys, anybody see the unisex bathroom in City Hall?
In Lowell City Hall?
Yeah,
No.
and
I
again,
have not visited it, but I did hear from Melanie Gilbert, and she's thrilled with it. And
No.
it's not, it's 3 bathrooms in one area. And on the police level of the City Hall. Basement, but I think there's a level underneath that basement, so I don't think that's the true basement.
I don't think there's a level underneath it.
Thank you for the correction, Cliff. I've been there.
Oh, you've been there.
Yes.
No, is it? Is
And
it?
where's the stairs to get down there?
That's if I tell you, I'll have to. I don't remember where, but I remember getting a tour of City Hall with Rita Mercier like a bazillion years ago, and I was surprised there was a cellar underneath City Hall.
But
Not much of a cellar, but
now, is this a bathroom with a locking door, or is it a bathroom where men and women can both go in at the same time?
no, it's,
There
it's
are
3
3
separate
stalls.
stalls.
3 separate stalls. Okay.
Each one with a locking door, and there is no door into the bathroom itself. So as you can see in the photo, you can see on the left there's the sink,
Yep.
and there are 2 stalls on the right, and then there's a big stall in the back to accommodate handicapped people in wheelchairs and all that. So Melanie Gilbert's got an article in today's Lowell Sun
Oh, is it? Okay.
that you can talk about it.
I'll go get the Lowell Sun. I'll put it up there.
A gender-neutral bathroom with 3 stalls, part of an extensive bathroom facilities renovation. I walked in, looked it over. I can't remember why I was in City Hall.
You were at a meeting. I saw you on TV.
Oh, maybe that was it. I was in a meeting. I think that it looks like a good job. It looks nice. I don't see any weirdness there. Now, they're renovating other bathrooms. Apparently, they're going to have porta potties outside for part of the winter.
We're going to have porta potties outside City Hall
Yes,
for winter.
yes.
That sounds like Lowell. We must know somebody in the porta potty business.
Yeah.
Why do we need this?
The what? Well, porta potties are better than no potties
Why do we need them?
because we're renovating other bathrooms.
Okay. Corey Robbins is watching this morning, and he has a comment about the cellar at City Hall.
Let him go.
Cliff,
I'm going to get it up.
Let's hear it.
Cliff, did you
show
change your
you
last name?
guys.
Did you change your last name to Krieger? On the screen, it's spelled.
I'll have to take a look.
Yeah.
Normally I check, I didn't.
This is what Corey Robinson has to say. Good morning, Corey. The lovable low is where we keep the money trees.
Oh, there's a good explanation. I like that. Because apparently,
Yeah,
a lot of people think that there are money trees.
Apologies, Cliff. I did crucify your name.
Oh well, it happens.
John, I'm surprised it took you 40 minutes to
I know,
discover
huh?
that.
Yeah. Good job proofreading.
Yeah. It's the way it
So
goes.
you're gonna wait for Eileen to get in to discuss the cabinet picks?
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
because she specifically emailed me about that. And,
I'm here in like 1 minute.
All right.
that'll be good.
30 seconds.
So,
So we can discuss her picks, but John was talking about checking things on YouTube. If you want to check out a good YouTube clip, Trump's, I think he was appointed to Secretary of Defense, the guy from Fox News, Peter Hegseth. He's
Yeah.
I guess they did a morning program, Fox News Live, where he was demonstrating axe throwing, and they were outside, and he let it rip, and it flew over the little barrier they had set up and struck a member of a marching band and cut the guy's wrist up, nearly killed the guy. I don't know if you're throwing axes.
I heard that
Oh, I saw it.
it was a minor.
Well, luckily it was a minor, but the blade, if it hit him
Yeah.
just right. But yeah, unfortunately there was some practice going on. It was 3 guys
Yeah.
playing
Was
the
anybody
drums.
arrested?
What's that?
Was anybody arrested?
They didn't arrest Peter, that's
No.
for sure. That was,
You know, we have a bar here in Lowell
Yeah.
where they have axe throwing.
oh, that's a big thing now, yeah. They
Yeah.
actually have a golf range, they have a driving range and golf simulation, and they have an axe throwing thing. There's one up in 28 in Salem. You know, I don't mind the golf part, but I've never been into the whole axe throwing thing. But if you like it, you like it.
I have not,
Throwing an axe.
I've not been to the bar. Have I thrown an axe? I'm sure I have as a kid. That,
Yeah.
well, you had to get your totem chip as a kid, right? In Boy Scouts?
Yeah, I guess so. It's a good place to go drink and then throw axes,
Morning,
though.
Eileen.
That's not a good combination.
Well, they put on a good presentation at the
Yeah.
License Commission, so if you'll pass
Sure.
that over to,
Thank you.
So-
My name on it and everything.
yeah.
I